Hello and welcome to another edition of the Morning Update live on NTN. Good morning to you. My name is Jessie Leonce, and for today, Wednesday, the 16th of June 2021, we will be bringing you yet again more developments from the government of St. Lucia. The Ministry of Health has one new case of COVID-19 to report, and we do have also a word from the Governor General of St. Lucia today, His Excellency Sir Emmanuel Neville Snack, looking back on World Elder Abuse Day observed yesterday, Tuesday the 15th of June. More word on vaccinations. We have over 50,000 St. Lucians being vaccinated against COVID-19 with more doses on the way. And the community of Laguerre Babonneau to welcome a new or state-of-the-art primary school. So stay tuned for the details to these stories and more coming up directly after this break.
With all that's happening around us, simple adjustments are necessary to keep us all safe. When calling 911, we may need a little more information to deploy the right personnel and protocols. You may be asked about your travel history, signs and symptoms, contact and movement history, and whether others in your household are exhibiting similar symptoms. Please be patient and cooperative during this time to ensure you receive the best possible care while keeping our first responders safe.
Do you know we can limit the spread of the COVID-19 virus? The Ministry of Health is your partner in achieving this solution. Introducing the Amber Wristwatch. The Amber Wristwatch is designed for monitoring daily movements while in quarantine. It provides an accurate location and a precise heart rate. The device is also waterproof and can be worn during all daily functions, like washing the dishes or taking a shower. It's worn like a typical timepiece. The Ministry of Health can now better monitor people in home quarantine and receive alerts of those who do not stay in the confines of their home. A 14-day rental of the Amber Wristwatch is just $75 US. Let us stop the breaches of home quarantine.
Thank you so much for staying tuned. If you're just joining us, watching on air, online, residents in St. Lucia, St. Lucians in the diaspora are looking to keep abreast with what's happening here on Ireland. Thank you for tuning in. Good morning to you. Yesterday, St. Lucia joined the rest of the world in observing World Elder Abuse Day. We have an address coming from the Governor General of St. Lucia, His Excellency Sir Emmanuel Neville Snack, speaking on this observance. Take a look.
To the elderly, greetings. We were not born to die, but to live eternally in a land where we would never grow old. The old who have wasted not the days of their youth will never be wasted by time and will enjoy every bit of their last days. The comfort is that Christ, who gladly suffered pain and persecution to save them from the inducements of the devil, will mollify the hearts of those who have when they all stretch out their hands for assistance. We are not to send them empty away, aware of the unquenching fiery floods of eternal damnation awaiting us. And governments too are to be reminded that the primary responsibility to quench thirst and hunger lies with them. Thank you.
That was word there from the Governor General of St. Lucia, His Excellency Sir Emmanuel Neville Snack, speaking on a World Elder Abuse Day, a June 15th observance with the theme Building Strong Support for Elders. And of course, the admonition going out, if you know somebody in your community, the elderly, senior citizen, look out for them. Identify what are some of the ways that they need help. Sometimes they need their front yards hedged. They need care, they need attention. And to the families of these individuals, an appeal goes out to you to just keep in mind that, you know, you have these relatives somewhere here on island. If you're in the diaspora and you're aware of a relative that you have who is getting on in age, check upon them. Ensure that they are doing well, because this is really how we show our strength and our heart and our conscience as a society. We continue with our updates this morning with a word from the Department of Health and Wellness. The department is indicating for Tuesday, June 15, yes, that there was a new case of COVID-19 coming out of the Ezra Long lab, and this was out of a batch of 105 samples. So 105 samples were tested and one came back positive. And this newly diagnosed individual was seen at a respiratory clinic and was assessed and tested for COVID-19. That individual has been placed in isolation, and contact tracing is now underway for the individuals that person may have come into contact with. The Ministry of Health also received news of the recovery of 12 individuals and bringing the total number of active cases in country to 84. All active cases are currently doing well, and none of them are situated in the intensive care unit. The new positives bring the total number of cases diagnosed in country to date to 5,186. So well over 5,000 individuals diagnosed with COVID-19, and we did hear in yesterday's release from the Ministry of Health and Wellness the number of individuals who so far have recovered, and not forgetting those who have unfortunately succumbed, with a condition associated to COVID-19. As of Sunday, that's June 13th, a total of 29,681 individuals received the first dose of the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine, and 20,688 received their second dose. The COVID-19 vaccination drive, we remind the public, is open to everyone 18 years and older for the first dose of the vaccine, as well as individuals receiving their second dose of the vaccine. Quick reminder, I like to say it every day, so you can't say you didn't know. hmi.govt.lc is the website you can go to pre-register. You can go on there, get pre-registered, so that when you actually going to the site to get administered the vaccine, all you have to do is just carry your ID card, and also some refreshment. You never know, you might have to wait a while. If you're going to get your second dose of the vaccine, ensure that you carry along with you your vaccination card, your COVID-19 vaccination card, and they will tick you off for your second dose, and that would mean that you have been fully vaccinated against COVID-19. So you may be able to travel without a hassle. Right now in St. Lucia, concession has been granted for individuals who are fully vaccinated, and also I'd imagine giving incentive for those who have not yet made up their minds. But this is definitely, I should say, for the lack of a better word, a passport to advancing to some degree of normalcy more than others who perhaps would not, or who have not made up their minds about getting vaccinated as yet. So please take note of those figures. The ministry is encouraging all residents of St. Lucia to get vaccinated to protect themselves, their family, and the wider society. So please take note of that. And of course, as you're going about your day, take into consideration, I mean, St. Lucia is not out of the woods yet. We still continue to contend with COVID-19. One new case in the last update coming from the Department of Health and Wellness. Reduced cases overall, but we are still at a risk. And if you remember hearing from the CMO earlier this week, we have an increase in the cases of the British variant. So there is the concern for that. We need to continue protecting ourselves. What is critical is the continued practice of infection prevention and control measures, adherence to the COVID-19 protocols, as well as the curfew. We hope people are not out and about dilly-dallying after 9 p.m. You're on the wrong side of the law, and you risk being stopped by police and being charged and so on. Please adhere to the COVID-19 protocols as well as the state of emergency, which covers the curfew. Going back to the vaccinations, we did hear from a nurse, Tekla Jabatiste, who is the assistant principal nursing officer and vaccination supervisor earlier this week, and she was giving an update in terms of the figures, how much of our population has been vaccinated so far. What we're going to do is take a quick break. When we come back, we will hear from her, as well as a word from the Ministry of Education on construction of a new primary school in the community of Laguerre Babonneau. Stay with us.
To the dentist? Really? How was that? It wasn't bad. The dentist was really nice and she told me that mouth rinsing is very important for healthy teeth. How so? Rinsing with water gets rid of food in between your teeth, which can protect you from getting cavities. No way. So after I eat or drink anything, it's a good idea to rinse out my mouth with water. Yes! Make sure to spit out the water after rinsing because swallowing will only bring the germs into your body. Remember, water is an easy and cost-effective way to instantly boost your health and a healthy body to fight any diseases, including COVID-19.
In an effort to ensure patient and first responder safety, the St. Lucia Fire Service has reviewed its patient transfer procedures, especially for patients with respiratory distress. Face masks will be provided. At no time during transportation should the face mask be removed. Please be patient and cooperative during this time to ensure you receive the best possible care while keeping our first responders safe.
Thank you so much for staying tuned. This is the morning update live on NTN. We're coming to you from the Information Command Center in the GIS studio. The Early Childhood Services Unit of the Department of Education, Innovation and Gender Relations is informing residents of the community of Gros-Soleil of the registration of children for the government-operated Early Childhood Center in their district. Parents and guardians desirous of obtaining a space for their child or ward between the ages of 6 weeks to 4 years at the center are asked to register at the Early Childhood Services Unit in Leclerc from Monday 21st of June to Friday 25th June 2021 between the hours of 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. You are asked to bring along the following documents: one passport size photo for the child, the child's birth certificate, the child's health card, your ID card, and a recent utility bill showing your proof of residence. The Early Childhood Services Unit is located on Gordon's Lane, which is opposite the Leclerc Health Center. The NRDF building is at the entrance of this lane. The unit is the fourth building on the right on Gordon's Lane, and if you want some more information on this registration process, you can contact the Early Childhood Services Unit at 451-7710 or 730-0222. So that again is 730-0222. So that's a word there from the Department of Education, Innovation and Gender Relations on the registration of children for the government-operated Early Childhood Center in the Gros-Soleil district. We continue with words still along the lines of education. The construction of a new primary school in Laguerre Babonneau, the community of Laguerre Babonneau, is underway following a sod turning ceremony on the grounds of the building site just recently. We have a report from the communications unit. I believe Chris Satney. Take a look.
The project is being undertaken at a cost of some 7.5 million EC dollars through funding from the government of St. Lucia and co-financed by the Caribbean Development Bank, the CDB. Being executed under the Education Quality Improvement Project, EQUIP, the new La Guerre Primary School building will comprise a basement, ground floor, and a top floor. The top floor will house 4 classrooms, a library, which will also house an IT laboratory, and a music room. The ground floor will house 4 classrooms, a sick bay, staff room, and principal's office. The basement will house an open breezeway, male and female washrooms, and a janitorial storage area. Prime Minister Alan Chasney, who spoke at the sword-turning ceremony, says students within today's modern world must be given the skills necessary to help them adapt, think for themselves, and to continuously strive to be the best.
This is the vision. This is the future. This is understanding the capacity of our country to be able to grow. And it's recognizing that the infrastructure, the smart school in itself, is not sufficient. And that's why a big part of the EQUIP program has been, the first part for the first 3 years has been about training the teachers to be in a smart school. There's no point in giving a child an iPad if the teacher doesn't understand it. If the teacher themselves don't have the vision of where we need to go to be successful in the future. And we cannot continue to rely on the faith alone that what the teachers are doing is going to be successful.
The school was due to be constructed under the Basic Education and Enhancement B project, but was delayed as a result of the passage of Hurricane Thomas, which resulted in the Ministry of Education diverting funds to repair the many schools that were ravaged by the 2010 cyclone. Minister for Education, Innovation, Gender Relations and Sustainable Development, Honorable Dr. Gail Brigabert, says the new smart school will be equipped to better prepare students to exist in a world that is continuously advancing.
It needs to be smart in terms of the infrastructural integrity and its ability to withstand climatic events. It needs to be smart to the extent that it incorporates information communication technology. It needs to be smart to cater for the multiple intelligences of our students. It needs to be smart to reflect our own incorporation of renewable forms of energy. It needs to be smart in recognizing that our students have different mental and physical capacities, and so we must cater for those.
MP for Babonneau Honorable Ezekiel Joseph says the project is long overdue and says he looks forward to finally addressing the issues of the school, which has been temporarily housed in a restricted space adjacent to the construction site.
I want to say to my people of La Guerre, thank you very much for your patience and mercy. The parents, thank you very much for your patience. I know your support is there. I know likewise the teachers will be looking forward to that completion of this project. But we want you all to be more involved even after the school is completed. Your involvement is critical to assist the teachers in the development of our students. That's important. So having a new school is one thing, but you must give the principal and the teachers the support.
The contract for the school's construction has been awarded to Construction and Industrial Equipment Limited, whose CEO Reno Kajata is confident of completing on time and within budget.
We started off the school, and with the little rains around and the kind of soil that we have here, it's going to hold us back just a little wee bit. But once we get out of it, it's going to be all easy and we'll be moving very quickly.
Under the Education Quality Improvement Project EQUIP, 2 other schools will benefit from the construction of new units to enhance the educational and comfort capacities of these institutions. Contracts for the construction of these units were recently awarded and signed with Prudy's Construction Services Limited for the construction of the unit at the Gordon and Walcott Memorial Methodist at a cost of $6.5 million EC dollars, and the Construction and Industrial Equipment Limited for the construction of the unit at the Vidbutei Primary School at a cost of $4.5 million EC dollars. From the Communications Unit of the Ministry of Education, Innovation, Gender Relations and Sustainable Development, I am Chris Satney.
Thank you, Chris Satney, for that comprehensive report on the construction of a new primary school in the community of Laguerre Babonneau, a state-of-the-art smart school that is coming from the ground up. We will be following and letting you in on the updates as they come from this new venture in that community from the Ministry of Education. Do stay with us. We're due for another break. When we come back, Vaccination Talks.
We can win this war. Get vaccinated, we're taking our life back. Get vaccinated, we know what to do. Get vaccinated, COVID-19 we won't lose to you. Oh no, take 2 doses, take our life back. Time for a brand new day. Take 2 doses, take our life back. To live and work and play. Take 2 doses, take our life back. The health experts we trust. Take 2 doses, take our life back. Vaccinate for you, for yours, for us.
Let's take our life back with a safe and effective AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine. The mobile vaccination drive is coming to you. Visit the Ministry of Health and Wellness and Bureau of Health Education Facebook pages for more information. Let's take our life back. Vaccinate for you, for yours, for us.
Get vaccinated.
This message is brought to you by the Bureau of Health Education of the Ministry of Health and Wellness and this station.
What's in the food you're eating? Do you really even know? All the chemicals and hormones used to accelerate their growth. All the artificial flavoring, sweeteners and colors too. We consume and we don't spare a thought for the damage that they'll do. No, think about the children. Think about the children. How will we save them? Chemicals and GMOs are not the solution. Use organic and join revolution.
Excessive agrochemical use, additives and genetically modified foods are harmful to health and the environment. Join the good food revolution. Grow, buy and consume organic. A message from Rise St. Lucia and the Ministry of Sustainable Development with funding from the GEF Small Grants Program, UNDP.
The good food revolution.
As of Sunday, June 13, a total of 29,681 individuals received their first dose of the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine, and 20,688 received their second dose. St. Lucia's national COVID-19 vaccination campaign is gaining significant ground since its implementation 4 months ago. But during the month of May, since the month of May 2021, the campaign did modify its initial phased approach to be complemented with a mobile component to facilitate greater ease of access to the vaccine by the general public. We have Nurse Tekla Jean-Baptiste, the Assistant Principal Nursing Officer and Immunization Manager. Take a look.
Vaccines are offered at routine static vaccination sites every week island-wide, as well as at mobile sites within communities and at locations of high human traffic. The elderly, people with mobile challenges, and people living with chronic non-communicable conditions continue to be vaccinated within their homes to ensure individuals at high risk for severe COVID-19 infection are reached and provided with the protection offered by the vaccine. It should be noted that a cross-section of the private sector has partnered with the Ministry of Health to provide vaccine to their management and staff within their workplace. This has proven to be an effective approach for increasing vaccination coverage amongst individuals in their productive years of life. The Ministry of Health notes particular success with this strategy within the hotel sector. To date, some hotels have achieved vaccine coverage of about 65 to 70% of their staff complement. This is a remarkable achievement, especially in a sector where there is a higher risk of possible exposure to the COVID-19 virus, given the nature of the heightened level of daily interaction with a wide range of people. This reduces the likelihood of a surge in cases, given this level of protection, and helping strengthen productivity in that sector.
As the economy slowly reopens and restrictions are lessened, as we've so far seen, Lucia says the need to have a significant proportion of the workforce covered with the COVID-19 vaccine becomes increasingly important to protect the health of the citizenry. She notes that the demand of vaccines worldwide far surpasses the supply, as we are still in a critical point in the pandemic where vaccine supplies are limited. However, St. Lucia's third tranche of the vaccines under the COVAX facility is expected in the coming weeks, with hopes that there will not be any destabilization of our national COVID-19 vaccination campaign. Currently, the AstraZeneca vaccine is the only vaccine that is available in St. Lucia. The Ministry of Health continues to engage authorized vaccine suppliers with the intention of adding other COVID-19 vaccines to the current program. Nurse Jean-Baptiste also assured that the ministry is carefully monitoring the use of the COVID-19 vaccine.
Vaccine safety and monitoring for severe adverse events remain a critical component of the vaccine rollout. It has been noted that recent reports released by global health authorities indicates that there is an association of blood clotting events after the use of the AstraZeneca vaccine. We at the Ministry of Health are aware that this may have contributed to a level of hesitancy towards the vaccine and thus affecting uptake. We assure all that these events have been confirmed as being extremely rare and an unlikely expected outcome for the vast majority of people who receive this vaccine. It is important to consider that clotting problems are a common complication of COVID-19 infection, and it is also associated with other prevalent health conditions, including obesity. The Ministry of Health assures the citizenry that the safety of each individual is of paramount importance. There is in place a vaccine monitoring system which allows for the keeping of a record of any adverse effect and a timely intervention if this occurs. Given this monitoring system, it is important that each individual who has been vaccinated and experience a response beyond the expected side effects contact the healthcare provider to report the experience.
The Assistant Principal Nursing Officer and Vaccination Supervisor Immunization Manager here on Ireland, Nurse Tekla Jean-Baptiste. Though this monitoring system exists, just speaking off of what she mentioned, the monitoring system exists to capture adverse events in an effort to ensure vaccine safety. Nurse Jean-Baptiste says it is important to bear in mind that vaccine benefits continue to vastly outweigh any possible risk. With that story, we come to the end of our morning update. I'd like to thank you so much for watching. Just to go over our stories leading for today, on the heels of World Elder Abuse Day observed on the 15th of June, we have His Excellency Sir Emmanuel Neville Snack, Governor General of St. Lucia, giving an address on the theme Building Strong Support for Elders. We also have the Principal Nursing Officer, Assistant Principal Nursing Officer speaking on the strides that have been made with regard to the vaccination campaign, as well as the Ministry of Health addressing concerns about the safety of the vaccine, and the community of Laguerre Babonneau to welcome a new primary school, a state-of-the-art institution. I'd like to thank you so much for watching. My name is Jessie Leon, signing off for now. Continue to enjoy the day. Keep productive. It's hump day, which means we're halfway through the week. Going into the weekend, we hope that you continue to adhere to the protocols and also the curfew, the 9 p.m. curfew on evenings. Do continue to enjoy the day and continue to stay tuned to NTN. Click the notification bell on our YouTube. Like our Facebook page so that you always know when we have new content, when we go live, when we update the public with respect to government updates coming from the Office of the Prime Minister, Parliament, the various ministries, everywhere. We know that it's election season, so it's very important to stay tuned to NTN because we will be providing you with information as per the Electoral Office and so on as well. So continue to stay tuned to us. Until we meet again tomorrow morning, God willing, keep safe. Goodbye.